Hey guys, Jay, welcome back to the channel. so, um, yeah, the thumbnail I made might look a little dramatic. I kind of thought about that after I made it, but yeah, no, I have been thinking. I've been I've been MIA for a little while. I mean, like, not really. I've been on some live streams and I've posted a few videos here and there, but I haven't been posting videos on the same frequency that I normally do. Um, and there's a number of reasons for that. And I've been thinking about a lot of things lately, and I wanted to share my thoughts on a few things that I have been thinking about. And generally speaking, these aren't things that I usually think about. These are just stuff that I guess they cross people's minds time and again. But that doesn't mean like there's going to be a serious video. I don't think that's what I'm intending to do with this video. I think that this live stream. Sorry, I think that what I'm intending to do here is just to just to share my thoughts and really um, have a sit down with the people who mean the most to me, which of course is you guys. You know what I mean? Um, it's been a very interesting journey that we've all taken together. You know what I mean? As some of you who have been long viewers of the channel might remember, I started this channel as an anime channel, as an anime review channel, um, and it was just to archive my memories, really. Because I'm getting older, man. I walk in, I think of something to do. I walk into the other room, and then I turn around and I forgot what I was gonna do. That's just me being, ridiculous. That's just being absent-minded and not really paying attention to what I'm doing. But there are serious things that are happening in the world, and that's again not the point of this video actually. But I did want to talk about a few things. Yeah, because I want to get a couple things off my chest that I've been thinking about for a while. First of all, I think the first thing I should do is thank you guys. I think that that's the biggest thing that any of us, who are doing YouTube at all should be doing. We should always be thanking, the people who support us, the people who watch us. I think without you guys, there really would be no reason to do these things. I know when I first started this channel, I was wondering if anybody was watching. Actually, I didn't really care who was watching at the time. I just wanted to archive my memories and remember the things that meant a lot to me when I was a kid. And then people started watching the channel and started replying. It was very small. It was only about 5, 10 people. It wasn't really anything that anyone should say. Hey, I got a YouTube channel. I'm good. No, it was a very small audience. But you know what? Every single one of you guys who was watching during that time and commenting and subscribing. That was the biggest thing. I remember when I first got my first subscriber, I was like, "What the heck? Somebody's actually subscribing to my channel." That was mind blowing. That was actually really really crazy. And I remember thinking to myself, "Oh, okay. Well, it's probably not going to go anywhere." I really just wanted to remember the old anime from 70s, 80s, and 90s because they really did mean something to me, and I didn't want to forget those things. And surprisingly enough, there were a lot of people who also were like, "Hey, I remember that. I remember that anime. I remember that cartoon. I remember these things." And I was like, "Cool. This is neat." Like, being able to converse with people all over the world, right? And people who have like-minded interests and people who want to talk about these types of things, right? I remember thinking to myself that was something that really meant a lot to me at the time because the people who were connecting with me, they had stories to tell of their own. Um, the thing is that, and I do have to apologize for this too. There's a bunch of things that I do have to acknowledge. I'm not very good at replying back to comments. I tried my best during the early years to reply back to as many comments as I possibly could, but you know the internet is the internet, right? And sometimes you're going to get good comments, sometimes you're going to get bad comments, sometimes you're going to get comments which don't necessarily agree with you. And like, I was lucky. I was very. I'm still very lucky. I'm lucky that the majority of the people who comment on my videos are very, very positive. There's going to be the one or two people who want to get a rise out of you. And one of the things that I learned very early on doing this was that you can't let that affect you. You really shouldn't, because once you start thinking about it, you lose sleep over it. Once you start losing sleep over it, you start double guessing what you're doing, and once you start double guessing what you're doing, the quality of what you're doing starts to plummet. And I realized that I wasn't doing it for the people who were complaining. I was doing it for myself mainly. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna shy away from that. I really was just doing it for myself. I was trying to just archive the memories that I had, growing up, and try to keep those memories alive. And that's gonna come full circle in a minute, and I'll explain that in a minute. I'll explain that in a second. I just want to kind of complete my first point. Um, but later on, I started realizing, what, there are actually people who are connecting with me who want to share these memories, right? Talking about Rocket Robin Hood, talking about, Spider-Man 76, and he's talking about so many different, actually, I think it was 77, 60, 69, wasn't it? It was crazy. Talking about Force 5, talking about Star Avengers, talking about, Grandizer, Dangard Ace, all these crazy cartoons that I'd grown up with watching, didn't even knowing that they were anime. And then talking about anime, talking about Bao, the Visitor, talking about, Ranma Nibanoichi, right? And Ranma One Half, Macross, right? Robotech, all these wonderful cartoons and anime that I didn't even know were anime at the time, right? Those things stuck with me. And it didn't matter who was commenting at that point. At that point, it was just like, there's a community who wants to share, and there's a community who's really connecting with me. And one of my longest supporters on Patreon, Princess Cagley, is still, supporting me, even though I pretty much, um, you know, my anime content is pretty much finished. I as what that's what tends to happen with the internet, and specifically with YouTube. You know, you try a few things with YouTube, and sometimes they don't pan out. Right? The YouTube algorithm, whatever the heck, the YouTube gods, whatever you want to call them, right? They are fickle, right? They don't really if you don't connect with an audience, or your videos aren't doing well, then it's not gonna really do favorably for you. So, I was doing my own thing for a long time, reviewing anime, reviewing cartoons, and it was fun. It was fun. It was really fun, and I really enjoyed it. The people who were supporting me at the time, incredible. And I can't thank you guys enough for helping me, to realize my passions, right, for anime and for cartoons, and just sharing the love of those things. But then the pandemic hit, and I've told the story a couple of times, but when we were cooped up inside, all I could do was watch YouTube videos. That's all, I think a lot of us were kind of like in that mode, right? And around that time, I was watching Pixel Dan, who I've been watching for years. I've been watching Pixel Dan ever since he was on RetroWare TV. Even before that, you know what I mean. He was always a source of inspiration for me, and just love for toys, because he was talking about, of course, Masters of the Universe. He was such a big Masters fan. I mean, his Master Universe Classics reviews, they're still among some of my favorite reviews on the internet. And during the time of the pandemic, he was still rocking it. You know what I mean? He was still reporting on upcoming toys and everything like that. And at one point, he started talking about how the real Ghostbusters, the cartoon, right? Kenner was going to be Hasbro / Kenner was going to be reintroducing, the classic cartoon Ghostbusters, and being cooped up, for so long, and just being trapped in our homes. That to me was a signal to me that, what, I need to get out of this place. I need to get out, go outside for a little bit, whatever it is, with a mask or whatever it was. And I just said, the first thing I'm going to do, if they let us back to go shopping, or back in malls, or do whatever, is I'm going to go, and I'm going to hunt down some of these Ghostbusters toys. And that's exactly what I did, and at that time, I was still primarily doing cartoons and anime. and tech videos. I was doing a whole bunch of stuff. I was trying different things, like all of us do, right? Um, AliExpress and stuff like that. And when I first went out there, I had no clue what I was doing. You know what I mean? I took my phone, I started going out, and I started just recording stuff because I said, you know what, I want to record this. I want to record finding these toys and how much joy it's going to bring me, and just reconnecting with my love of action figures, right? And I hadn't been collecting since I was a kid at that point. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people think I've been collecting like for God knows how many years. I haven't actually. I only really started collecting during the pandemic. Shockingly, like that was a really big thing that happened in my life, and I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't even listen to the video really. I just knew that they were out there. I didn't know that Dan had mentioned in the video that they were actually going to be Walmart exclusives. I had no idea. And the first thing I did was went to Toys R Us because I was like, these things got to be at Toys R Us, right? They've got to be there. And I remember doing my very first video, going to Toys R Us, and it was again, it was just during that time where they were saying stand 16 feet away from each other. Don't get anywhere near anybody, right? So they even had footpaths. They had these little cartoon feet showing you the direction of where you go. You can only walk on one side of the mall, right? And it's only in one direction. You can only go one way. So if you wanted to go to a store, this was hilarious. I should bring it up later. I don't know, but if you watch the video, you'll literally see that on the floor it literally said "walk this way only," right? And it basically directed you to walk only on the right hand side of the mall, right? So if you wanted to get to a store, you had to walk on the right hand side. Now, of course, they would let you cross if the store was on the other side, but you had to stay on the right hand side in order to cross to the left. It was bonkers, man. It was absolute bonkers. But this is the type of thing that we survived. This is the type of thing that we all lived through at the time. And I think in a lot of ways it brought a lot of us together, but in more important ways it drove us a very much apart, because none of us could commute, none of us could communicate, like not the way we normally would. None of us could actually gather. And it was one of those things where we all felt very isolated in our own homes. And I remember at the time thinking, you know what? Because I was watching a lot of YouTube at the time, I was like, I've got to do this because you know what? I need something to distract me. Number one. Number two, because they're letting us out a little bit more often to go, essential items, right? Shopping, right? It'll give me an opportunity just to get out of the house and stretch my legs and do that stuff. And why not bring the camera along with me just to see what that's like? So I did that. I didn't find what I was looking for because obviously there were Walmart exclusives. But what it did for me at that time was it reconnected me with toys. It reconnected me with Toys R Us. And I'm going to get to Toys R Us a little later in the video because that to me, again, I've got thoughts. I've got a lot of thoughts and what's been going on with the industry right now. But yeah, I remember the first thing, what really inspired me at that time, and it's strange to think about it now. It's strange to think about it now. But Hasbro, for about the better part of the year before, had pretty much purchased Power Rangers from Saban Entertainment, and they were running with it. They were going crazy with it, right? And I remember walking into that Toys R Us and seeing cosplay items. I saw the Red Ranger helmet. I saw the Green Ranger helmet. I saw the Dragon Dagger. I saw Putty 2-packs. I saw what's it called, the Green Ranger and the Putty, two-pack set. I saw so many great things for Power Rangers, and it didn't matter to me at that time that there was paint applications that were incorrect, that some of the face sculpts didn't look exactly right. It didn't matter to me about all that. I was just like, what the hell is this? Like, they have Power Rangers back in like action figures, in Power Ranger action figures in stores again? Because around that time, Power Rangers was turning like 20. You know what I mean? It was like it was about 20 or 30. I think it was 30 actually. Power Rangers was just about to turn 30. I think like 2 years later, and I remember thinking to myself, "Wow, this is crazy! They actually have all these Power Ranger action figures." And then I saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like I think it was still with Playmates at the time, or somebody. And I was just enthralled with what I was seeing, and it really helped me to reconnect with toys. And I started just posting those videos, and to my shock, they started getting more people's attentions. And at the time, I didn't think much of it. Because up here, the rules were different in every state, in every city, in every province, in every, and every country. And depending on, even in every city, there were different rules for every city. And at the time, they were letting us into malls, but then they sort of like closed off that for a while too. It was a really weird situation. But the few videos I was able to do, where I could go out and go to Toys R Us and go to Walmart and not just go grocery shopping, but I could actually go and look at toys and stuff like that. I remember people were like, "Oh my God, where are you?" Right? They were literally like commenting in the comments saying, "Where are you? What city are you in? What state are you in?" I thought Toys R Us was dead, and at the time, I didn't realize that Toys R Us had folded in the United States. And that was crazy because a lot of people were just connecting with me based on the idea that I was able to go out and go toy hunting, and I was really quite taken aback by that, and that really helped my channel grow a lot. But it all stems from one more thing. It all stems from the idea that people wanted to connect, people wanted to communicate, people wanted to talk about the things that they're passionate about, and it was amazing. And many of those people are still watching the channel, supporting the channel, and for all you guys out there, once again, thank you guys for supporting the channel as you have over the years. But this channel has given me so much, and without it, I don't think I would be able to have met all the people I have. I've met a lot of you, either in real life or at conventions or online as well, right? Of course, and it really has just like enriched my life for so much, right? And I really can't express how grateful I am to everybody out there who's reached out, who's recognized me, when I go out and go to public and go to conventions and everything like that. It really does mean a lot to me that each and every one of you, care enough to just say hi. You know what I mean? It really does mean a lot to me. Um, and that really accumulated first when I went to some of the bigger conventions like Fan Expo here in Canada, where people were actually recognizing who I was. I was shocked that even in my own house, even my hometown, people would recognize who I was. That was crazy. But then it got really crazy and kind of weird, at least to me, when I went to like San Diego Comic Con for the first time, and people actually like, recognized me there. I was literally taken aback. I had no idea that anyone would recognize me in the United States, let alone a comic convention of that size. I was shocked. I really was, and it still takes me aback even today. You know what I mean? Um, but I'm so grateful. I really am. I'm so grateful that you guys come up and say hi, and really, it's really awesome when I see your names on the chat and in the comment section, and you're like, yeah, I'm Giraffe. I'm like, holy crap, dude, good to see you. You know what I mean? Like those are really genuine moments, and it really hits home for me. Um, and you know what? It really has accumulated to a point where you know a bunch of us who became friends online, right? Um, Decided, uh, based on one person's dream, to actually create a toy convention of our own. You know what I mean? Motuniverse was the brainchild and the dream of Mike Gordon, the attorney in royalty, and we became friends again, by connecting through YouTube and social media, right? Um, AJ of Attorney in Royalty, contacted myself, Mike Gordon, Shane, of a Powerhouse Animation, and he said, "I'd love to do a podcast with you guys." And you know what? I've done podcasts before, but I've never done one in a just for Masters Universe. You know what I mean? And that was like an honor to be invited to do something like that. I was like really honored to be invited to that. And we of course started talking, and all of a sudden he starts saying, I really wish, a Masters Universe convention would come back to California. And I looked at Mike and I was like, well, why don't you do it? Like, what's stopping you? And he's like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm like, wow. Like, everyone starts out not knowing what they're doing. So what is it that you need? Like, what is it you want to achieve? And he told me what he'd like to do. And I'd had experience. I still have experience. I still have a lot of experience, doing conventions. And I said, look, I want to help you. I think that this is cool. I think it's a great idea. It's a lot of work. I told him don't, like, I'm not gonna candy coat it for you. It's a lot of work. But he was willing to do the work. And over the course of, it wasn't even a year. That's what really shocks me. It was a little bit under a year. It was like 10 months. That's often not enough time to do a convention. Like, seriously, it's a bare minimum to plan a convention. And to our shock and surprise, there were a lot of people who wanted to help. And honestly, we were humbled by the fact that people wanted to help us from California, from other parts from different states, from Canada. It really was, a gathering of fans, and that really was humbling. It was humbling to think that there were this many Master Universe fans who wanted a convention in California. And to that end, it got really, it was really just truly humbling when we asked for help from the community, from you guys, from everybody who is a Master Universe fan, who's a toy fan, and said, look, we need some capital to get this thing going and to be able to just to get the venue. And we were shocked when, like, so many people stepped up and said, we want this too. And that really is where things, I knew that I was just beside myself. I was still beside myself. I can't believe that we actually ended up doing a convention in California. And it really is just touching and humbling that so many of you supported this cause, right? And then what ended up happening? It was just kismet. It was just something that I never thought would ever happen. Mike, and I'm gonna call him out. I'm gonna call out Mike because he was the one who made it happen. Mike had a contact who basically, said, "Would you like to come to the premiere for Masters of the Universe, the movie?" And he said, "I'd like to invite you and a few friends to come." And you know what? Mike was so generous and just so selfless, really, and said, the guys who have helped, for the convention, he reached out to a few of us, and we were able to go. And I was going to go to that week anyway with Danny. Like, we were actually going to go, but the timing was just perfect. It really was. We lost about a day and a half of planning, but why would, like, it was just a crazy moment in our lives. And some of you have seen the photos, and I'll probably end up doing a whole video on my experience with that. But it really was one of those things where it was one of those experiences I will never forget for my entire life. I've never been to a premiere before, let alone something which really means that much to me. Masters of the Universe, you know what I mean? There aren't that many things which are going to top that, but some of you who were at last year's Toy Tubers Unite, I was shocked again, because the amazing people at Mondo, some people who I consider friends, you know what I mean, and just people I look up to and admire so much. I don't know what I did to deserve an honor like that, but because all I do is bitch and complain. That's all I do when it comes to toys. You know what I mean? That's all I end up doing. And for whatever reason, you know what? Again, I don't know why, but they gifted me a Many Faces, and I was so I was so just taken aback by that. I really was. Forget the idea. Forget, truly, forget the idea that it was a personalized version. Um, and you know what, my who I consider now a very good friend, Tommy Hodges, just honored me so much with this, um, and of course the rest of the the Mondo crew who helped to make it happen in time. I mean, I have no words really. I really don't. But if you saw my face that night, which maybe it might have been going around the rounds. I'm not sure, but if you saw my face that night, you'd know just how crazy and how just shocked I was. It was an absolute incredible night. And that one actually is a little bit more special to me than the Master Universe premiere, to be perfectly honest with you. But the Master Universe premiere is definitely one of those things that I can never ever forget in my entire life. Um, and then we did Motuniverse, and I could not believe the response. Some of you guys might have seen the video that's on my Instagram page. You guys might have seen a lot of the videos of people who have been posting and sharing their experiences of Motuniverse. It really was just a magical time. Meeting Alan Oppenheimer for the very first time in my life, just incredible. Meeting Melendi Britt and Anthony DeLonges. You know what I mean? People who I've admired for so long, right? Artists, writers, producers, creators. It really was just an incredible gathering of in people who I cannot believe I was able to share the same air with these people. It was insane. And it was chaotic. I'm not going to lie. It was crazy. We had to put out a lot of fires that weekend, but it was just so satisfying. It was so satisfying. It was so fulfilling. And it really was one of those things. I was like, we did it. And I have to thank my good friend Mike of Eternia Royalty for making it happen. For having a dream and for really inspiring all of us who were there to push that extra mile and make the dream come true. Mike, good journey, my friend. What a journey we've made. It really has been just an incredible experience, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. But more to that, the volunteers, the staff, the people who made Motuniverse possible, all of you, and you all know who you are, right? You guys are just absolutely incredible. A convention cannot happen with a handful of people. It just can't. A convention cannot happen with just one person. It's impossible. You need a dedicated group of people to be able to maintain order, to be able to plan, to execute, to make sure that when something goes wrong, that no one in the attendance realizes it's gone wrong. And for every step of the way, the volunteers, the people who came, who paid money to be there, paid freaking money, became founders, actually came up to us during the event and said, "Is there anything you guys need? Do you guys need some additional help? Can I volunteer?" We're talking about people who actually came and were there for their vacations. Some of them flew, from the other side of the country to be at Motuniverse. And the first thing that they do when they land at this convention is ask, "Do you guys need any help?" I don't know what to say to that. I really don't. I was so taken aback by that. I was like, please, we really need some help. Like I was shocked. I was genuinely shocked, and I was truly humbled. And I was like, this is crazy, man. These people paid to be here, and now they're moving boxes. They're assembling equipment. They're putting chairs in places, tablecloths. I was like, what is going on? But this is part of what I want to talk about tonight. There are a lot of communities which I think have a reputation for being toxic, and I'm not going to pretend like the toy community is not toxic. I mean, like there's a lot of sects, a lot of, because when you're in a toy community, there are toys everywhere. You have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you have GI Joe, you have Transformers, you have Master Universe, you have also all manner of toys, right? You have independent toys, you have great toys, and in those segments, right? There's always going to be one or two people, or a handful of people, or a group of people who just you know, have to be the you know the loudest, the squeakiest wheel. You know what I mean? The squeakiest wheel on the car or the bike, right? And they always have to have their say, which is fine. That's perfectly fine. Um, but I have to say that I have never been part of a community, at least my experience. I'm not going to talk about other people's experience. There's so many experiences in so many different communities, but I have been so fortunate that this Master Universe community has been just it's just been incredible, being part of this community. And I can't speak volumes. I could write books. I could write novelizations about how great the Master Universe community is, because it's true. It's true. We might fight from time to time. We might disagree from time to time. You know what I mean? Is Masters of the Universe 87 a good movie? No, it's not. Yes, it is. It's one of the greatest movies ever. I freaking love it as a kid. Oh, yeah. You guys all suck. No, of course. It's a family at the end of the day. We are a family, right? And we're going to fight. We're going to fight. But at the end of the day, when the call came out to say, hey, we should gather and celebrate Master Universe, because in 2026, it is going to be the year that Master Universe becomes amazing again. And oh, hell yeah, it really was. And everybody in this community really stepped up. And yes, there were some naysayers. Yes, there were some people who were not on board, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. You know, I appreciate that. I appreciate the disagreements. I appreciate the skepticism. I appreciate all of that. Not everyone is going to love the Master Universe movie. Not everyone's going to agree with the direction that it took. Not everyone's going to agree with the comedy. Not everyone's going to agree with the characters. Not everyone's going to agree that it was a bad movie or a good movie. Not everyone's going to agree with that. But one thing that really stuck out multiple time and time again is that people want to gather. People want to have a good time. People want to talk about this wonderful property that we all have just grown to love, Masters Universe. And I am humbled by that. And to that end, I want to say once again, and you're going to hear this a lot tonight, guys, but I want to say thank you. Thank you to each and every one of you who came to Multuniverse, who liked, commented, and shared all the videos, all of the videos that have been posted out there, everything about that. For the volunteers, the staff, everybody who helped to make Multuniverse possible. Thank you. Thank you so much. You made one person's dream come true, and it ended up being all of our dreams. And what a dream it was. And we are going to be doing it again in 2027, so stay tuned for that. But that's not to say that there are other communities that haven't touched me. Of course, the G.I. Joe community has been incredible. And there, I will say that it can be a very divided community. Like, there's going to be a lot of people who, are for or against classified. Some people want retro. Some people want, the vintage edition, the retro edition. Some people want O-rings. Some people want multiple articulation, right? And you're going to get your divisions here and there. But for the most part, the G.I. Joe community is very strong. And, that has never been truer than when you see some of the great conventions that have come out of the G.I. Joe community. One just recently passed, Joe Fest, and I wasn't able to go this year. I had to save up for San Diego Comic-Con, but I do miss have not being able to attend. I saw some amazing photos and lots of people sharing. It's always great to be in Augusta, Georgia. A wonderful city. It is quite a ways from the airport, but when you get there, the people are friendly, the atmosphere is great, and the fans are just incredible. Jolanta's coming up very, very soon, and so excited for that. Brett, who's a very good friend of mine, puts on a great show every single year, and it's just growing. That community is growing leaps and bounds. So really excited about Jolanta, coming up very, very soon. And yeah, obviously all the fan conventions and geek culture events, Fan Expo being one of them, San Diego Comic-Con being another one. So many different events that are coming up for toys and for comics and for movies and popular culture, geek culture is still very strong and really is leading the way in many ways. But a lot of things are happening in toys. A lot of things are happening in movies. A lot of things are happening in the geek culture. And I just wanted to sit down tonight and share some of my thoughts about what's actually happening in the industry, and what's happening with toys and what's happening with movies. But also, I wanted to share some of my own thoughts about my channel, this channel, our basically our community here, guys, the Mega Joe Rocha channel, um, and talk a little bit about why I haven't been posting as frequently as I normally do. Because as you guys know, normally uh, all the news that's been happening with Master Universe, I'd usually be on top of it. But you guys have probably seen over the past couple of weeks, ever since Multi Universe, really, that I haven't been posting as often as I usually do. And I owe all of you guys an apology for not doing that. I owe all of you guys an apology for not keeping up with what's been happening. Which is not true. I have been keeping up, but I haven't been talking about it. And I feel I owe you guys an apology for that. I feel like I'm not, fulfilling, my promise to you guys to keep on top of these things. And I just wanted to share some thoughts about what's actually been happening in my life, and what my plans are for the channel and going forward. Um, So first things first, thank you guys for joining me tonight. This is very impromptu. I don't usually do streams around this time, but I felt that it's important tonight on the eve of 4th of July. Actually, it is 4th of July here in the East Coast, so happy 4th of July, everybody. I know over in California, you still got another 2 hours and 15 minutes before it happens, but happy 4th of July, everybody. I mean, Canada Day just happened. It was a couple of days ago on the 1st of July. So happy belated Canada Day to everybody. Um, but also, I did want to talk about some really fun stuff too, like what's been happening with the World Cup and the kind of awareness that's been happening about American culture, which I have actually had some experience with. So it's kind of interesting. And I wanted to share some anecdotes about that too. But just before we get into the weeds, I want to say hi to everybody who's in the chat. Thank you guys again for joining me tonight. It's always a pleasure hanging out with you guys. So here he is, Kenzo's Creations. What's going on, Kenzo? Always good to see my good friend Kenzo. Uh, we were on a live stream the other day, and it was just a fun thing. We were just having just a blast, and of course ripping each other. We were just talking about how. Oh my god! I don't want to get back into it. We're gonna spend too much time with that one. But good to see you, Kenzo. Thanks for joining. I might share a funny anecdote with Kenzo later. Nolan, what's going on, dude? How you doing tonight? Good to see you. Shani Shark, Sandy Shark. What's going on? What's up, Jim, my bro? Good to see you, Sandy. Always good to see Sandy. Motu Prince is in the house. Hello, Jay, Kenzo, Nolan. Good to see you, brother. Let's see here. What's the topic? MGA bros? You know what? We might talk about it. We probably will end up talking about that. We probably will. I like that Thundercats in the background. Dude, you know what? I love it too. It's pretty amazing. It's damn heavy too. Eternia team forever. Good to see you. Force 5, Grand Desert were the best. Absolutely. Right? 37 Grayson. Yeah, that Thundercats layer is awesome, dude. There's a dream. There's a dream that Brian Flynn made possible. Christopher Voss, what's going on, dude? Good to see you, brother. Half sounds like talking about COVID. Once during it, I was trying to leave a real Canadian superstore. There was a queue for the tills that stretched halfway across the building. I wasn't a customer. Yeah, dude, it was a surreal time back then. It was a surreal time, and we all lived through it. It was crazy. So I tried to leave since I wasn't buying anything without the queue. An employee wouldn't let me. Complained to the manager, and I got thrown out for trying to leave. What? Are you serious? What the hell? Dude, that's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. Oh, my God. I'm glad that, by the way, I'm glad about your, I'm so happy for you that you got your Castle Grayskull, bro. That's amazing. Insignia Nix, mad respect, Mega J. Kia kala, brother. It's been a long time. Always good to see you. Thank you so much, brother. Toy Cartel. Hey, Mario, what's going on, bro? Good evening, Jay. You're truly one of the best YouTubers and most friendly guys out there. Thanks for always being a real and a great guy. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate it. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Motu Life, hey, what's going on, bro? Good to see you. Always great to see Motu Life. Me and Jorge are lucky to call you a friend. Jorge is ready for Motu Universe 2. Dude, good to see you. I didn't see him there this year. Dude, I was so disappointed, man. Hopefully we'll see each other again. Motu Life. Time to run back Motu Universe. Absolutely, dude. Run it back multiple times. Motu Prince. From an event goer perspective, Motu Universe was great. Amazing guests, amazing vendors. Mike should be proud. You know what? We all owe Mike a huge thanks for everything that he did. Without him, it would not have been possible. Saying hi to everybody. Good to see you guys. Hey, there he is. W Rabbits 3. How are you? I'm good, brother. How about you? Hope you're doing well. And how's your brother? Yeah, Dex is doing well. Thank you for asking. Clint Jorgensen, who was at the show, and honestly, I wish I had more time to hang out with him. Everyone missed you in Augusta, Jay. I know that you can't hit them all. It's tough, brother. But that was the first time I met Clint Jorgensen in Augusta. It was incredible. Let's see here. Micah is on the house. On to next year. Yes, Micah, our volunteer director, incredible individual. Man, I could not believe how hard he worked. Thank you, Micah. Really appreciate it. Motuniverse 2 will be huge. I think so. I think we got a lot of planning to do. Well, thank you, Clint. I appreciate that. And you know what? I strive to be better, my friend. I strive to be better. Motu Life. We're planning a Cali vacation around Motuniverse 2027. Dude, that is oh my god. I can't believe Motu Life. So if you guys don't know, he literally made a last-minute decision to just come. Like Luke is just, oh my god, that's crazy, just crazy. And you know what? He was there all weekend. He was helping all weekend. Absolutely crazy. Anytime, bro. Anytime. Always. John 226. John L 226. Room looks clean but messy. Yeah, I got it. So that's another thing we got to talk about. Honestly. Onassis Custom Design. What's going on, dude? Good to see you. It's been a while. We all here, Jay. There you go, brother. Thank you so much. Grayskull Zombie. Good evening, Jay and chat. Hope all is well. It's better that you're here. Christopher Voss. I'm serious. The manager escorted me out of the building sternly when I was just trying to leave. That's so stupid. That is so stupid. There was just so much misinformation around that time. You know, that you have to be, you know, this. You're 12, 16 feet away from each other. And you know what? If you want to leave, you want to leave. That's so stupid. Nobody's in the house. Surprised I caught the stream. Distracted me from the too big. Oh, Voltron. Good to see you, brother. Christopher Voss, thank you. I haven't received the Classics Grayskull, but I eagerly look forward to its arrival. That's awesome, dude. Congratulations. You have my sympathy. I don't have a clue what happened with that trade with Philadelphia. Oh, man. That's crazy, dude. Jose Guzman. Good to see you, brother. Got my skeletal Lady Slither yesterday in the mail. That's awesome. Oh, my God. She's looking incredible. Haley Harajuku. What's going on, my friend? Good. Hello there. This is Shao Kahn and his J. Good to see you, Shao Kahn. Moses Cortez. Are we getting a sequel? Is it a confirmed? So there are a lot of rumors swirling around that. It's still, we don't know. We don't know. It's. They're talking like it is. They're talking like Forbes even mentioned that the possibility of one is very high, but it's hard to tell. It really is. What's happening in the box office right now is not really that encouraging, and I really have to see it one more time before it leaves the theaters. So let's see what happens. Too cool. I appreciate your channel the last few years as a lurker, but you should be proud for bringing people all together. Thank you, my friend. I really appreciate it. Those words really mean the most to me, and thank you for saying something today. People are welcome to be, whatever if you just want to watch casually and never subscribe, that's okay. It's all right. I would appreciate it if you subscribe. That would be awesome. But you don't ever have to comment. It's fine. But again, as a community, it's great to communicate. I just wish I was better at it, other than these live streams, because I think these live streams replace what I when I don't reply in the comments, which I really should. I really should. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna be try. I'm trying to be better. I really am trying to be better. To paraphrase William Fredrickson from the Sharp film series, "Room is dirty, action figures are clean." Good one. Was the Cortez? So we need Shira. Yes, we need Shira. On S's custom design, big smile. So, um, a couple of things, and you know what? Might as well. We're still going to be talking about toys. So I got some mail. I might as well open it while I'm talking to you guys. Just for you guys to see something. And I don't want this just to be a talking head all night. So, um, so yeah. Um, so I guess I should tackle the first thing that's really been on my mind for a little while. Um, you guys might have heard of it. I don't know if anybody really knows about it. I think a lot of people recognize it. They just don't really understand it. I barely understand it myself, but I'm gonna ask you guys: have you ever heard of con withdrawal? And let some of you try to understand what I just said there. Con withdrawal, convention withdrawal. Think about that for a while. Before you answer, or if you do know exactly what that is, please put it in the comment section, because it's a real thing. It's just, I mean, we anybody who's done conventions, we talk about it all the time, and the reason we talk about it all the time is because it's just going to be a common side effect of being at conventions and organizing conventions and being around conventions. It particularly hits people who, who really enjoy themselves at conventions. It's not a joke. It's real. It is a low that comes after the high. And a lot of people go through it. It's something where, and you have to understand sort of why it happens. Con withdrawal, it is a form of depression. And it's something to be taken seriously, honestly. I know it sounds like a joke. I know it sounds like something fun. It's not. Um, and we all have to understand why that is. So you think just to take it in a little bit. You have decided to go to a convention. Maybe it's your first convention. Maybe it's your 15th convention. Maybe it's your 200th convention. Could be anything. But this convention is where you meet your friends, who you've met online. This convention is where you meet your friends who you have in real life that you haven't seen in like a year. This convention has exclusives that you would like to buy. This convention has actors and celebrities who you'd like to meet and are really excited about that. This convention has cosplayers who you would just admire and love the cosplay scene, and you love the costumes and you love the atmosphere. This convention has creators who you'd like to meet and aspire to become. The conventions have these things, right? Geek conventions have all these things. It's not like geek conventions are not like work conventions where you're there for seminars, you're there to learn, you're there to do, or you're there to accomplish things. No, this is a place where you're there to sit down. You're there to listen to creators. You're there to meet celebrities. You're there to have a good time. You're there to reconnect with people who you haven't connected with in over a year. And in many ways, it's the only time you ever see that person, and you are the best of friends online. So you actually converse with that person every single day, but you've actually never met them. And for the first time ever, you're going to meet them in person. And when you do, it is like you've been best friends your entire life. But then you have the best 3 days of your life. You've been, hanging out with all these great people who you just met at the convention, who have become friends for life, really. And you will continue to be, you'll continue to talk online. You'll continue to have a great time, and you'll continue to be friends. And you'll bring back some great memories. You met Alan Oppenheimer. You met Melendi Britt. You met Blade from the freaking 1987 movie, Anthony DeLonge's. You got autographs. You took pictures of cosplay. You freaking picked up so many different toys, some of them exclusives. And you met creators like Ramen Toy, like Animal Warriors of the Kingdom creators. You've met so many. You've met the Savage Crucible guys. You met people who have changed, who have literally, inspired you, and you've been admiring for such a long time in person for the very first time. And you know what? It has been one of the best experiences of your life. Then the last day comes, you get on a plane, you head back to wherever it is you came from, right? Whether it's Canada, whether it's another state, whether it's another city, and everything stops. You have literally been partying for the most part, like you were a little kid in the grade school, but meeting new friends, having great experiences, sensory overload. And then for 3 days, you've been doing this, and then it stops. You reach out to the people who you met. You start communicating with them. You still have a great time. You talk about, oh man, wasn't it so great to see this and that and meet you guys and getting an autograph and I got these toys, right? And you're so excited. You want to keep it going. You want to keep talking about it. But the reality is it has stopped. And when that happens, that's what we call con withdrawal. It begins slowly because the high lasts for about a week. The high that you're on lasts for about, a week, sometimes 2 weeks, sometimes a month. And you're smiling, you're having a great time. But then eventually you start just realizing that the high has, come down. It's the same thing as a drug. It really is. It has the same lasting effects. You know what I mean? You really want to get that feeling back, but it's hard because you got to go back to work. You've got to, real life starts all over again. And real life sucks. Real life sucks. So that's why we call it con withdrawal, because it's literally like being on a drug-filled high, meeting people who you really respect, meeting people who you consider friends, creators, actors, and having the time of your life, cosplay, everything. And then it stops. And it can be really depressing. And that's exactly what happens to a number of people. I've known many people who go through con withdrawal every year, and multiple times a year, because you know what, they have to go to the next convention. It's another endorphin hit. It's something that really happens to everybody, but it hits some people harder than others, and it really is a big problem. And I do tell people, stay in touch with each other and communicate with each other, because it is. At the end of the day, it is a low point after a high, and it can be problematic. It can be. I experienced that, and it's been a long time since I've experienced con withdrawal. It's been a very long time since that's happened, because I've been around cons now for so long. Usually I'm exhausted after a con. I love San Diego Comic-Con. I love going every year. I do. I love Joe Fest. Going every year. It's incredible. I love Jolanta. I love all these conventions. Even Fan Expo, which I think is more like a big flea market. I still love it. You know what I mean? I love going to cons. I love going to and meeting friends and people who I haven't seen in a year. I love that. I really do. But I've never. It's not that it's been a long time since I've had con withdrawal, and I'm still going through it now. Yeah, this one hit me hard. This one hit me really hard. I'm still having a really hard time right now, actually. So many news bites have come, and I didn't report on them. I've been sleeping later because I sleep late than I usually do. I've been waking up later. and I'm not motivated. I'm not motivated anymore as I normally am, and I've been doing this for a long time, but this one really got to me. Um, yeah, this one really got to me because it means so much to me. That's what really happened this time. I'm coming to terms with the idea that this one meant the most to me in so many different ways, and I put everything I could into this one. You know what I mean? Because I wanted this one to be the one. I wanted this one to be the most fun. I wanted people who love Master Universe to enjoy themselves and to really celebrate what it is to be a Master Universe fan. Um, and Mike and everybody who made this happen really, really knocked it out of the park. You know what I mean? And I had the best time. I had the best time in such a long time. It was exhausting. It was exhausting. It was chaotic. It was it was everything you would expect. And I've been through this roller coaster multiple times. There's nothing that happened this weekend that didn't surprise me. No, that's not true. That's not true. There were a lot of things that surprised me. But in terms of like running a convention, it was pretty much what I'd expected year after year after year. So nothing really shocked me. But seeing the faces of everybody who was there, seeing the kids, you know, knock around that piñata and having such a good time. Yeah, it hit me, man. It hit me harder than I thought I'd ever be. In in so much that I have been I've organized a lot of conventions and I've been a part of so many different groups, and I didn't want this one to be, you know, the one that didn't make it, and thank God it didn't. You know, I I I was so happy when we were giving away those toys, those popcorn buckets. I was so happy when, you know, Dolph Lundgren came on the screen and was answering people's questions. I was so happy when I was sitting there with Mike and AJ and Sean and Micah, and I was just it was one of those things. I just didn't feel like I wanted it to end, and then it did. Yeah, I had to go. I had to get on a plane, and I had to go back. Um, I want to thank Derek, my good friend Derek, who, you know what, and my good friend Danny, you know, because the last day that we were there, we had to move things into a locker, and it just felt like a really depressing day. Having gone again through so much highs and having to leave, you know, all that behind. Derek, you know, who's a great friend, decided, you guys shouldn't leave the happiest place on the world without having, one last ride. And he took us to freaking Disneyland, man, and I wasn't in the mood. I wasn't in the mood to go to Disneyland. I said I've already been to the greatest place I've ever been to, which is Master Universe convention that Mike Gordon made. Freaking Multiverse. That's the greatest thing ever. But it was a great day. It really was. And you know what? It gave me one last hurrah before leaving California. And I've been to California a dozen times already. You know what I mean? Like I've been to every Comic Con since uh, f- uh, it's like I think it's 2018. Yeah, I've been to every single Comic Con since then, and then of course the pandemic. You know what I mean. But yeah, even going to Disneyland, it was fun. But when I got off that plane, and I got home, you know, I got down, man. I got into it really, really down. It was it was crazy. And I just took a lot of the videos that I had taken and I started making videos about the con and, posted them on Instagram. Um, I just watch, and this is what you do. This is what you do when you have con withdrawal. You start looking for videos about the con. You start trying to see, how other people enjoyed it, and you start living vicariously through them again, right? And every single video got me back up a little bit, and it gave me a little freaking, just a little high, just a little boost for every day, right? But the time difference, everything about it, yeah, it took a toll on me, man. It took a toll on me. I didn't realize how hard it would hit me. I really didn't. I had no idea how hard it would hit me and how much it would affect me. But yeah, I wasn't posting any videos. I wasn't really engaging. Um, some people would invite me to do live streams, and I do them. I would. And I was happy to talk about my experience at Multuniverse. I was thrilled to talk about my experience at Multuniverse because it brought me back. You know what I mean? It brought me back for a little bit. But yeah, man, it was hard. It's still hard. I'm still not 100%. I'm still. I haven't posted anything this week. This is the first thing I'm doing this week, other than a live stream that I did with, um, the He Maniacs. That was it for this week, and that's not good. That is not good because I feel like I'm failing you guys, and I feel like I'm failing myself. I feel like I'm losing touch with what it is I want to do with my life. It's a tough thing, um, and it is like, and I've never done drugs, but I can only imagine how much harder it is to come off of a drug high and go to a drug um, withdrawal, because coming to terms with this now is hard. I didn't know what was wrong with me. It's a tough thing to say. But one of the things I've always realized is that you know you have to recognize when you need help. And I started talking to my family. I started talking to my friends. You know what I mean? Like, and slowly but surely, it's going to come back. But I'm not going to lie, I haven't been very motivated lately. I haven't been very motivated lately to do anything, and it's hurt the channel. It's hurt a lot of things, and I again, like I said, I feel like I failed a lot of you guys. So I wanted to come on here and just explain what was going on, and why things have just not been the same. Um, and again, just to ask you guys for some patience, because I'm trying to get through this the best I can. It's been a while, as I said, that I've gone through some con withdrawal. Um, but the reality is that I came back from one of the happiest places in my life, from the happiest experiences of my life, and it was all gone after 3 days. And it's going to take a while. It's going to take a while for me to come back and, you know, to where I was. It's going to take a little while. but it's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. And Motuniverse is going to happen next year. It's going to be better than it was this year. And I hope by then I'm going to be okay with that one, because it's, again, these things, you get addicted, man. You get addicted to this stuff. This stuff gets addictive. And you know what? I was on quite the high. I'm hoping that San Diego Comic Con in a few weeks will bring me back, hanging out with some very, very cool people who I love and respect. I'll be able to hang out with them again. I'll be able to be back in California, hang out with Mike, and you know what? And just lose myself again at a convention. And I know I'll be okay with that one because I've been to San Diego Comic Con multiple times. It's more frustrating than it is just getting into a freaking line. So it's not the same event that that Motuniverse is. So I think I'll be okay. But yeah, this one was tough. This one was tough, but it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. I got more to talk about, which is not as I didn't want this to be a heavy. You know, I didn't want this to be as heavy as it just got. I'm sorry, guys. Oh God. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. I wasn't expecting to talk like that. But anyway, everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be all right. I got a couple of packages while I was away, and while I got here. And like I said, because of what's been happening, I haven't really cared too much to open them. So I figured I could open this one with you right now. We'll talk a little bit more about some of the other things that have been happening in the toy world. Yeah, let's find out what I got from Big Bad Toy Store. Let's see what I got here. What's in the box, right? What's in the box? Let's find out. But there have been a whole bunch of other things that have been happening, obviously, which I should have been talking about. Particularly with Master Universe. I talked about a few of these things during the Attorney of He-Maniacs Live broadcast, and I was very, very excited about the fact that Skeletor is getting an exclusive SDCC figure, which I'm very, very excited to be getting at SDCC. They got the lottery system again at San Diego Comic Con, which is just pissing me off. But they do have open appointments, so I'm hoping that if I don't get an appointment to get Jimbro Skeletor, that I'll be able to get him on the for an open appointment. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I really want to get that Jimbro Skeletor. I think he's amazing. If you guys haven't seen the movie, which I don't know why, please do. You'll understand that Jimbro Skeletor is just so much fun. And then the announcement, the final announcement, again, it was a rumored kind of thing that was at a convention somewhere in Europe, I think. They showed what a lot of fans are calling Dream Date Skeletor, which is awesome. I want that too, and I hope it's probably going to come to Mattel Creations, and I do believe that they actually are probably going to be releasing it in the next few days. I think I saw on the Master Universe calendar that something's going to be dropped next week, Wednesday. So I'm expecting that that's going to be the drop just in time for San Diego Comic Con as well, because I need those two. And of course, the one that I really want as well is going to be HR Skeletor. Now, again, if you guys haven't seen the movie, you guys probably don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm not going to put any spoilers outside of that, but those figures, the trifecta of Skeletor from the movie, is something I really, really need. So I'm really looking forward to those. First thing out of the box for Big Bad Toy Store is Red Eye. I'm really excited about this. The fact that we're finally getting pretty much all of our Lunatacs. We only have pretty much one more, Tugmug. Tugmug is the only other Lunatac left. So it's really cool to be able to see Red Eye. And he has an amazing box art. Really excited about this. They've opted not to do any more illustrations, it looks like, which is sad. I really like the illustrations that they were producing. But really cool stuff here for Super 7. And it's weird now. They're actually putting all these disclaimers and warnings on the box, which is kind of strange. I mean, I've never done that before, right? So I'm kind of surprised that they're doing all that. What the heck is going on there? How come it's so? There it is. It's the recycling information, I think, right? And then this one over here is like flammable materials, something like that, right? Again, very strange, so odd. And the second thing in the box, which I think you guys can probably guess if you collect Thundercats, is one that JP and myself have been waiting for a long time. And I'm so glad we got this figure. He looks incredible. It's Coronation Lionel. And he looks freaking amazing. Oh my gosh, look at that face. Again, I think the Thundercats should have smiling faces. You know, that's how I remember Thundercats. I remember them as being very jovial, right? Very happy as a family. You know what I mean? So I'm really glad to have been able to get Coronation Lionel. Great stuff. I still don't understand what the heck is with that staff. I really just do not understand what that's supposed to be. But you know what? Maybe it's just not me. Maybe it's just me. I don't know why this camera doesn't like to focus sometimes. It's just the way it is, I guess. Hey, he looks great. Awesome. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to see those exclusives. One of the other figures that I'm very interested in, and Mad Hatter and Nostalgia Unboxed, Johnny, they talked about it this week on their live show yesterday. There is a Marvel Legends. Sorry, it's not Marvel Legends. It's SH Figure Arts Psylocke. But she's the SH Figure Arts Psylocke from the X-Men, Children of the Atom, and of course Marvel vs. Capcom. She's incredible. I've always been a big fan of Psylocke in general. But when she was in a video game and that was her freaking model, I was always on top of that one. As a matter of fact, I have the Psylocke versus Thanos right there. And as awesome as she is, I've always wanted the Psylocke. I'm going to call it an anime version. I've always wanted that one because I always thought that she was the pinnacle of design for Psylocke. This is from Amazon. This came in the mail the other day. So I wanted to find out what it was for this particular package. I'm really excited about that particular version because she looks about as accurate as you can get for an action figure from the show. From the video game. So I'm really hoping that it's as accurate as possible because I really am excited for that one. All right, so we got more Motu stuff here. One thing about Amazon is they just do not care about packaging, which of course many of us do. So sadly, but the price was right. So hopefully, if these guys have additional, if I have another chance to get these guys, I'm hoping I can get better cards. But anyway, first one out of the box is Clawful from 2000X Mattel. And he looks freaking awesome, man. He's freaking huge. He's beefy. He's chunky, man. And he looks way better than the prototypes that we saw on display at San Diego Comic-Con last year. But it still amazes me that these guys are being released at the same time as Mondo. That just blows my mind. It seriously blows my mind. I just have I'm really not understanding why that's happening. But still, I'm so grateful that 2000X is getting such amazing figures in 2026. That is just incredible. Yeah, it's awesome seeing Clawful. And then we also got. I was very happy to be able to get this guy. We got Merman from 2000X. Very cool to see him. He's got his trident. Awesome. He really looks great, very much like he did in the cartoon. Although I will admit, I don't think they got his face exactly right, but it's pretty cool. It's a very interesting. I think his eyes should be more blacked out. That's just my opinion, but he does look awesome. Huge shout out to everybody who was able to put that together. This, unfortunately, is the international version, which is sad because, again, I live in Canada, so there will be no words in the book. Sadly, actually, there's no book. I forgot about that. There's actually no book. There's no, even though it's strange, even though there's a cutout for a book, there's no book. So I guess I'm not really missing much. I'm just missing the subtitle. You know, that's the only thing I'm really missing, which is kind of sad. And of course, Amazon always does me dirty when it comes to my favorite characters. My God. So, Teela, Warrior Goddess, and this is the American card. She got mangled, man. Look at that card. Oh my God. That is just, what a sin. Look at that. The beautiful artwork completely destroyed. As seen on Ties That Bind. Very, very sad. But the figure looks amazing. She looks incredible. Camera doesn't want to focus because she's so busted. The card is busted up like there's no tomorrow. Come on, focus. Focus. There we go. That's it. She looks awesome. Very happy with these figures. And we got the final character in this wave, which is Orko the Great, and he looks freaking incredible. Oh my God, I love it. We're getting a lot of great stuff, being spoiled for choice by Mondo and by Mattel. It's funny that these two are American cards, and the other one, and Merman is an international card. I find that hilarious. Orko's not too bad. I've seen worse cards. I really am kind of not upset, but disappointed that Teela was the one that really took the brunt of the damage. Really kind of disappointed with that. But at the end of the day, I've got these great figures, so I really can't complain too much. That's not true. I can complain till the cows come home, but it's not really going to do me any good. So we'll see. Maybe if I find another one in the wild with a better card, which I'm crossing my fingers, I'll find a better Teela. Hopefully we'll be able to get something different. But every other one came mostly intact. This one has a little bit of damage there. You can see that. But for the most part, they are here. They are fun, and I'm very happy to have them. So very, very cool. The other figures that came in were, this is the Mondo 1/12 scale He-Man. I'm going to be doing an unboxing on that. Not tonight, though. It's a lot of work. And I was really lucky to be able to get a Clawful as well. So 1/12 scale Clawful. So yeah, I had a lot of different deliveries come in. It's been a lot of fun catching up and seeing those come in. But like I said, it's it's been a bit rough for me. Yeah, man, con withdrawal, it's a real thing. And it is a form of depression. I'm convinced of it. I am convinced that it is a form of depression. You don't want to do anything. You feel like you're not motivated to work. And it's a problem. It really is. And I hope that anybody who has experienced con withdrawal, talk to somebody. Talk to somebody. Talk to your friends. Talk to your family. Don't think that it's going to go away, because it lingers. You know what I mean? And it's something that really needs to be talked about. I know it sounds like a joke. You know what I mean? It really does. It sounds like, why would you go through withdrawal after being at a convention? It's a low, man. Like, there are highs of highs, but then there's lows of lows. And I got really low. I got really, really low this time. And again, you can see it in my production. I haven't done much, ever since I got back. So yeah, it's just something I wanted to get off my chest because again, I feel like I've disappointed a lot of you guys. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a lot of things which I should have been doing, a lot of news that I should have been covering, and you guys deserve better. You guys deserve better than that, and I strive to be better. I strive to do better. So that's what I hope for anyway. We've got a lot of things coming up. Like I said, San Diego Comic Con's just on the horizon. A lot of things are on the go. We are planning for Motuniverse 2027, so I'm excited about that. 100%, I'm excited about that. And of course, like I said, not only San Diego Comic Con, but also Fan Expo is going to be coming. Fan Expo Canada is coming soon. Jolanta, as I said, they're accepting applications for vendors right now. So if you guys are interested in exhibiting at Jolanta, now is the time to go grab your table because they are going to run out fast. Trust me, it's going to be freaking crazy. Yeah, a lot of things going up on San Diego Comic Con's exclusive list this year. A couple things I'm really excited about. The Street Fighter head pack. That one is really catching my attention. I think that one is one of those ones which I really have to grab for myself. I think I'm really excited for that. I'm a huge Street Fighter fan, so that one to me is going to be a lot of fun to grab and to see. Uh, you know, damaged faces. I think that's really cool. I think it's something that a lot of people just don't think about. You know what I mean? The extra articulations and stuff. So I'm really excited about that. But I also did want to talk a little bit about some other things that have caught my attention that are a little bit concerning in the toy field and the movie field, particularly the Master Universe the movie. I wanted to talk a little bit more about that. Moses Cortez, I want Hordak and Skeletor on. I want Hordak and Skeletor on screen so bad, dude. I would love to see those two going toe to toe. It would be crazy. Christopher Voss, I spent my days visiting stores like Walmart for work. I check the toy aisles every day I visit. Anecdotally, but Motu action figures are moving very well. Chronicles especially. I know they've re-released. That's awesome, dude. I'm so glad to hear it. Motu DVDs 2000X Series 2, and there are even pet food cross promotions going on. It's crazy, right? It is hilarious. Clint Jorgensen, on a Joe Fest withdrawal right now. I get it. Yeah, it's real. It's a real thing. Like seriously. Motu seems to be doing well in supplemental earnings, and Amazon is likely sees the film as a marketing for future installments. Motu had been a dead brand before. It's hard to say there was a dead brand with the fans. I think that the fans were keeping it alive, but in terms of how they could make money off of it, yes, I see where you're coming from. Although Super 7 was doing a good job of keeping it around. Moses Cortez, I'm going to Anime Expo this Sunday, so I don't have withdrawal yet. Well, bro, take your time. Take your time. Motu Life. Yes, Comic Withdrawal was the end of Motuniverse 2026, missing all the people, conversations, experiences, and that's not the stuff you can buy. You and I were there, brother, right? And I miss you, brother. Luke, I miss you. Jordan from Canada. Oh, MGR. I know you're a very busy man, but this is sweet nostalgic vibes to see you back on early Sunday morning. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Always good to see you too. Moses Cortez. Sunday Macross movie viewing. Can't wait. Oh, that's going to be so much fun. It's my bucket list to go to Anime Expo one day. I've never been to Anime Expo. Clint Jorgensen. At Joe Fest last week, we met up with at least 60 dudes from YouTube, right? Oh my God. That would have been great to see, to be there. Grayskull Zombie. Motuniverse was the first convention. I can't wait for next year. Feel the withdrawal. Dude, it was incredible, right? And I'm amazed that was your first convention. Thank you. Thank you for letting us be your first convention. Kenzo's Creations. I may have gotten it, although there were other circumstances that may have caused it to be worse. My first day back to work, I got, oh my God. I'm sorry, Kenzo. I heard about that. Man. Sorry, bro. I know what it's like to be laid off. What a fucking, terrible. Terrible. My thoughts are with you, brother. I hope you get some job offers soon. Action figures. Greetings, brother. Hey, it's Thunder Punch He-Man. Good to see you, brother. Always good to see Thunder Punch He-Man. We didn't see Billy at the show, which was sad. But he had it's a long way to come all the way halfway across the country. Haley Harajuku. Hello, Kenzo. This is Shao Kahn. Yes, it is the Shao Kahn. We are very sad to hear about that, Kenzo. It's crazy. Tube.123. That's why we should work hard to earn enough to retire. Then we can avoid the lows of going back to work after a con. Dude, it's rough. It's rough, and that's the other thing about me not having a steady job. I have to scrape by with what I have for a SDCC. It hasn't been easy. It's never easy. And it's only exasperated from the fact that I haven't been really posting much. And again, this is what con withdrawal does. Thank you for your streams too. Good times. Thank you, Jay, for the Moto 2 content. Thank you, brother. Jordan from Canada. Always good to see you, brother. Mega J, we love you, bro. We got to keep those good nostalgic vibes in the real life. Bring action figures into your pocket if you need to, too. I know, brother. Thank you. Appreciate it. I really do. There's another con around the corner. You'll always return to the cave at the end of the day. I know, right? But this one hit me hard because, again, it was so important to me, right? Normally, cons are for me or whatever, right? I've been to so many, but this one was really close. This one was really close, and I was really sad when I had to go home. Too cool. Spravato could help with that. Spravato. What's Spravato? I don't know what that is. Snell's World. What's going on, Snell? Good to see you, brother. Jay, it's okay to be tired and need to recoup, period. You do a lot for the community. I need to do more. You know what I mean? I always feel like I'm not doing enough. And now I feel really bad that I've been away for so long. Arthur Cano. I found your video about Grandizer and SOC toys and started following you then. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. That means the world to me, dude. Thank you. Jordan from Canada, you guys really made the extraordinary happen. Motooniverse will rise again. Yes, of course. We are all feeling it. Kansas Creations. Okay, Jay, if it will help, I will set up a camera on my bed and you can watch me sleep again. I wasn't going to say it, bro. But yeah, man. Absolutely. Deep breaths, bro. Absolutely, dude. Thank you so much. Micah, I think I'm just used to cons. I'm actually glad I don't go to the SDCC anymore. It's too full and stuffed with people you couldn't move. I do miss the He-Man parties at the Gaslamp pub. That's freaking awesome, dude. You know what? We should at least meet up around the con. Micah, I'd love to see you again, bro. Seriously. Jordan from Canada, we're going to do it again, brother. 100%. Gray Skull Zombie, thank you for all that you put in the Motooniverse. It was such a great time, and so many people had a great time because of you and the team. If I can help out next year, please let me know. Dude, we would welcome you with open arms. Absolutely. Thank you for everything you did, man. Thank you for all the support and attending the convention. Toys are 24/7 my passion, my friend. Cons are coming. Absolutely, brother. Micah, then you can look to next year, but in between. I know, Micah. Thank you again for everything. Action figures. I live to play another day. So much more coming. Absolutely. So excited. Jordan Canada. Cheers, Danny Green. Yes, Danny Green is the man. Micah, there's a lot of planning to do for next year in meetings. 100%. Absolutely. Snell's World. To meet Christopher Lambert next weekend. Oh, sweet. That's awesome. I'm pretty sure I'm going to make a fool of myself. I know, right? Meeting your heroes, dude. Absolutely. Jay and Chad, keep the positive vibes flowing. Absolutely, brother. Thank you, Luke. Take care. It was amazing for sure. You all did well. Dude, you're part of that. Don't forget that. Don't ever forget that. Let's get Motooniverse con chats going so the momentum to keep moving forward. That would be awesome, dude. Thank you. Jordan from Canada. Jay, we're very spoiled in 2026. The toys, the video games, the media. We have so much. Must be grateful for everything that we have. You know this. We must remember sometime every day give ourselves joy. Absolutely, brother. Thank you for that. Jeff008. Oh, thanks for sharing the con withdrawal. I totally get that. I didn't mean to. It's not something that I really was thinking about too much, but it hit me, man. It hit me hard. It really did. Lady Virgo Cool's in the house. What's going on? One half of the Rough Shot stocks. What's going on, Lady Virgo Cool? You can never fail me, bro. Thank you, girl. I appreciate that. You're always there for me. Guys, Lady Virgo Cool, please check out the Rough Shot stocks, guys. You will not miss that. You can't miss that. Killer Money 8250. I know what you mean. I used to go to festivals every year, and going back to real life sucks. I'm sorry you're having a hard time. It'll pass. It'll pass. I just wanted to explain where I've been all this time. John L. You burning out? How about shaving that beard? I've thought about it more than once. I really have. I honestly have. Kenzo, we're all here for you, bro. You kicked so much ass at the con. You worked harder than anyone. Just know how much you are appreciated. Thank you, brother. Thank you. But that's not true. All of us, every single one of the people who were there, Mike, you, AJ, we all worked our asses off that weekend. So it was incredible. It was, like I said, chaotic, but it was incredible. German Canada. Oh, Jay, you should celebrate what you and Mike and everyone accomplished. You guys really created a miracle. There's something to be celebrated until next year. Absolutely, brother. I do appreciate everything that everyone brought to the table, man. It was absolutely incredible. Thank you guys so much for that. You, I feel like I'm failing. I didn't say I actually failed, but I do feel like it sometimes. Thank you, Jordan. Los Cortez, Macross World Convention was going for years until it ended. So many people, Mari Ijima, Mari Ijima, I miss her. It's okay. You're doing a great job. Don't feel down. Absolutely, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And she will be missed. She will be missed. Jordan of Canada. Oh man. Yeah. I know that. I know that. I haven't got to that point yet. It's just that again, after being at such an incredible event, it's been a long time. It's been a long time since I've gone down that road. It really has. But I got down, man. I got really down. Yeah, 100%. I will be focusing on all of that for sure. Yeah. Again, it is a low. It is a really, really big low. Moses Cortez, I haven't heard anything about video game. Hope it's coming out soon. I'm gonna hopefully find out more about it at the San Diego Comic Con. Limited run games will actually be there this year, so I'm hoping they bring a demo. Grayskull Zombie, Jimbro Skeletor, yes, I'm really excited for that. German Canada, that's a really fun concept. I really am looking forward to it. I don't even know how to get a Jimbro Skeletor. Mattel Creations. I've got to do a video. This is exactly what I'm talking about. I should have done a video so you guys know what I'm talking about. I should have done that. I should have done that. Oh my gosh. Moses Cortez. I wonder if there's ever a reissue of Masterverse Panther. I need that so bad, dude. I need a reissue of movie Beastman. That thing is unobtainable. I'm gonna have to bite the bullet and freaking just pay a mint for it. It's crazy. Micah, I like the Dream Date Skeletor. I have to pass on him for now. Hopefully he sticks around. Dude, I'll buy you one. if he's regular price, I'll grab you one. Jordan from Canada, Thundercats, yes, Thundercats. I'm so glad for Coronation Line, though. I really am. Grayskull Zombie, Mattel Creations is also offering Jimbro Skeletor. I am so excited. It's going to be great. Jordan from Canada, that logo is still amazing. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Clint Jorgensen, need to get HR Skeletor for the brother-in-law. Dude, he looked awesome, didn't he? I love that in the film. It was so much fun. Christopher Voss, how do you get Dream Date and HR Skeletor? So Dream Date, apparently he's going to be available on Mattel Creations. Somebody just said that. And HR Skeletor, that's still unknown if he's actually going to be produced. But I'm hoping that they make him because he's awesome. Los Cortez, a set of smiley faces for all the Thundercats would be nice. Yes. 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 John L. He looks like a clown. I think you're thinking of the wrong one. This one looks amazing. The one you're thinking about is the LJN Lion-O. Jordan from Canada, Hatter and Nostalgia. Absolutely. Killer Money. Those are awesome. We need to get you some shells so you can... Funny thing about that, and I'm going to be talking about that a little bit as well. Christopher Voss. Psylocke is apparently an X-Men 97 Series 2. Yes, but not looking the way she does. Not looking the way she does on thing. She looks crazy. Absolutely freaking bonkers. Jordan Canada. Psylocke was always look cool. Yes, she did. She's always has. John L. Can you imagine eating clawful? No, I don't think I can. That would be gross. That is a lot of crab. Yep. Can you imagine eating merman? No, I can't. I don't want to eat any of these guys. What are you talking about? Dude, what are you thinking? Jordan from Canada. I was thinking about Zoolander when I see merman. The Jester, what's going on, dude? How you doing tonight? You were an oasis of positivity, fun, and enjoyed your channel for as long as I have been on YouTube. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really, really do. That means a lot to me. Jordan of Canada, The Jester, very kind, good vibes. Thank you, brother. And Jack, nothing happened, Jack. Guys, if you haven't already, please check out Big Jack Films with my good friends here on YouTube. He's an incredible creator, and if you love, if you love Godzilla, if you're into, a lot of the kaiju stuff, he's definitely up. His content is definitely up your alley. He also does cosplay battles. He's an incredible creator. Definitely check out Big Jack Films. Not much, Jack. I just have con withdrawal. I was telling everybody from doing my own convention. So I'll bounce back, though. I'll bounce back, Jack. No worries. I'll bounce back. Jordan Canada, she's gorgeous. She is. Yeah, brother. It's very rare that I've been up this late. But tonight, I just wanted to, talk about a few things. Love the Master Universe film 26. Really fun movie. Thank you, brother. It is incredible, isn't it? Transformatics. What's going on, dude? How you doing tonight? Jordan Canada. Orko's arms articulated? I think so. I didn't check. Hold on. I think they are. I think they are. Check it. Yes, they are. They are articulated. Yes, right there. You can see it. Yep. Articulated, which they should be. Christopher, happy belated birthday, Dominion Day to those in Canada. Happy early treason day to those who don't believe in paying their taxes. What? I am so confused by that. What does that even mean? German Canada, Mono He-Man. Yes. Screw it. Let me take him out of the box at least, I guess. I've really thought about it. I'm not going to open them up, though. I'm just going to have a peek. I love the way Mondo packages their stuff. It's really meant for collectors. You know what I mean? They do their best to protect. Them. Big Jack Films. My girlfriend and I went to Star Wars Collectors Expo. It was a good time. Bought $200 worth of Star Wars toys. Yeah. Welcome back to our world, Jack. Some of your thrift hunts were awesome, though, dude. Seriously, we should stick to thrift hunting. That way we'll save some money. Christopher. Yep, that's right. Shoulders, arms, elbows, wrists, all articulated. Absolutely. Thank you, Christopher. Appreciate that. I feel like I'm gonna cut myself here. Snell's World. Oh my gosh! Wow. Okay, I'm gonna have to start skipping a little bit, guys. Jack got away from me. Jay, you got to meet my daughter at MotuFest. You get to meet my daughter at MotuFest. That's awesome. I'll be honored, my friend. I met your son, right? I met your son, right? Yeah. So it was an honor to meet your son, and it'll be amazing to meet your daughter. So thank you so much, bro. That'll be an incredible honor. Transformers. I thought the movie was great, fantastic as it should be. Absolutely. See the corner protectors. See, Amazon, take a tip out of everybody else's freaking book, man. Protect our figures, dude. Seriously. And here he is, the most powerful man in the universe. Oh my goodness, there he is. There he is, He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. 2000X edition from Mondo. Oh. I really feel bad for anybody who hasn't picked this up yet because these things are going for crazy prices on the aftermarket. It's crazy. Let's see here. Master Versal 200. Eldor, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being a member. You are amazing. Holy crap. 31 months. Dude, you're incredible. Nova's in the house. You got to unbox the Motu Chronicles figure for a video. I want you to see that greeny brain melt for the awesomeness. that geeky brain melt for the awesomeness. That's awesome, dude. Thank you. Transformatics, I believe he was a swiveled waist, some meticulous in the head, too. Nice. Eldor's in the house. Yes. He has joined the membership, and I really appreciate it. Jordan of Canada, Master Versus know how to remember that name. Nice to see you. Absolutely. Snell's World, K-pop Demon Hunters is doing a crossover with Motu. No, really? Oh, that's awesome. I love that. That's really cool. I'm gonna enjoy that. I now got to collect the K-pop Demon Hunters. What the hell? When I said dead brand, I'm speaking of terms of business, not a collector. I meant no, none taken, none taken. It's all good, dude. Let's see here. Big Jack Films. I normally go to the G Fest this time of year, but I'm passing due to cost. Plus, the US is a gamble at the moment. Yeah, I don't deny that. Too cool. FDA approved nasal ketamine. Oh, okay, interesting. Not to push drugs, but help my depression. All right, I'll look into it, bro. Thank you. Transformatic. Mega J, do you collect the Motu Mecha Stress line? Currently, right now, I have every figure save the variant Roboto, and Mossman. I was, but unfortunately, I fell off that train because again, there was just so much to collect. Richard Garcia, what's going on, dude? Long time no see. God bless you, Mega J, the community and true Master Universe. Thank you, my friend. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. The trash around my plastic. What's your opinion on the Amazon marketing at the moment? I'm using the movie plush for a new toy line. I'm using the movie to push a new toy line. I love how that alone is almost a throwback to the toy line, creating a TV classic once streams. It seems like everyone they've been talking about that for a while. Forbes in particular has been mentioning it. I think it's a good move. I mean, I'm not against what they're doing, obviously, but at the same time, I guess the real question is it going to work, right? I think that at the end of the day is the discussion. But if it means that we get another movie, I'm all for it. I'm 100% all for anything that gets us another film, especially because if the next film is what we think it's going to be awesome, right? I think that really, for me, in a lot of ways, oh God, what? Why is this thing just making me look like an idiot? More than I usually do. But yeah, that's my overall opinion on that level, and I'm hoping it continues at the end of the day. I really want to see more movies, more media. I haven't seen the new cartoon yet, the new streaming show. I know people have been telling me to watch it, and I will. It's just that right now, again, I as you guys already know, I've been less and less motivated to do anything these days. So, yeah, I'm hoping that didn't work out at all. I am, excited for many things, but, yeah, I think Amazon, if they're doing, that's not going to work. If they're doing it the way if everyone says that what they're doing is all part of the plan, then I really am looking forward to what this plan is, because at present I'm having a hard time seeing what this plan is. Although, like I said, it's interesting to keep seeing publications like Forbes saying that this is part of the plan. Like that's hard to see. You know what I mean? As a fan, A, that's hard to see. B, I'm having a hard time understanding how that's supposed to work. It's a real conundrum for anybody who's a fan of this stuff, right? Future Warrior, cool. God bless you, Mega J. You are the positive pillar of the Motu. Oh man, if that's the case, we're in trouble. Take care, brother. Yes, I know what you meant. Micah, I hope the Motu game doesn't end up like Toxic Crusaders, which keeps having its release dates pushed back 2 years in a row now. Dude, please don't say that. I'm really hoping to see something at SDCC. Christopher Voss, who had Jared Leto being the best part of the movie on their bingo card? It wasn't me. It most definitely was not me, and I am so glad that that ended up being the case, because seriously, he really was one of the best things about the film. Like, and I'm happy to say that. I'm happy to say that I was pleasantly surprised by his performance. Like truly, I was very, 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 very pleasantly surprised by his performance, and I do hope, that they bring him back for the sequel. I think that he deserves it, and B, I'm not sure if anybody, is able to top his actual performance from the film. I think that he did an incredible job. I'm not ashamed to say that. Yeah, I would love to see Jared Leto return. I think that he did a great job. So bring back Jared Leto. Future Warrior. God bless you. Oh, thank you, brother. I think I went backwards. Yeah, I think I did go backwards. Why am I seeing all these same comments all of a sudden? Snow. When are we getting HR Skeletor and that ad that was gold? HR Skeletor. HR should come with Darrell. Darrow. Oh, Darrow. Yeah, you know what? That would be a cool idea. I don't think you should get 2 figures though, and I don't think we need Darrow. I mean, I thought that was a really cool, fun little Easter egg, but I don't think we need Darrow. I don't think so. I think adding Darrow would just complicate a lot of things. But yeah, I would definitely love to see HR Skeletor 100%. That I think would be freaking amazing. Christopher Voss, can you imagine eating? No, this is dude. Let's not go there anymore, okay? Like seriously, I think you brought up way too many questions. Jay, the video game community is spinning the news that PlayStation is stopping physical media in 2028. Really respect your experience and insight. Glad to hear your thoughts on that one day. I will talk about it right now. I was going to talk about it tonight anyway. Mikerios. Mike Rios. I don't know why I tried that differently. Mike Rios. Thank you, Mike. My apologies. Mike Rios. I hope the action figures stay in a physical form and don't go digital only. Ha, ha, ha. They tried that already. It died. It was called NFTs. Christopher Voss. I heard Domino's is going to go digital pizza soon, right? Skullfire Time. Did I just see an upside-down crosses on the background of the Orko figure? What? Tommy, what the hell? Oh, my God. Yeah, you're right. Are you serious? I didn't just notice that. It does look like an upside-down cross, doesn't it? That is... Wow. I did not notice that at all. I think it's supposed to be a sword. I'm gonna take it as a sword. Oh my gosh, Tommy, I'm gonna take that as a sword. Tommy, by the way, earlier in the video, I was gushing about Manny Faces. You should go back and watch. Thank you again, Tommy. Thank you for everything, brother. Master Resident 100. Indeed, great work out there, Jay. Moto Universe team. I see you pulled off a great representation of our world of Eternia on Earth, sir, and I hope you enjoyed yourself. I did, my friend. And thank you again for the 31 months as a member. You are incredible, my friend. John L. Christopher Voss. Just avoid the legs. It'll go down. Christopher Voss. The American Revolution was started because colonials didn't want to pay taxes for the war. They had started with the French, roads, schools, and hospitals, etc. Okay. I am not American, so I did not know that. That is crazy. Snell, happy Treason Day. King Charles isn't happy because the colonies are quite rowdy. You guys are killing me. Big Jack Films. Oh my God! Speaking of thrift finds, I found a Marvel Legends Infinity Gauntlet for $20. Are you kidding me, Jack? I got to see that video. Which video is that? It's freaking awesome. Christopher Voss. That's like the greatest find ever. It's an incredible historic coincidence that young George Washington started the 7-Year War, aka the French and Indian War. Is that real or is that a movie? Because I thought I saw a movie on that. Snell's World. Colonial Tila is starting to ship at BBTS. Chronicles Tila is starting to ship at BBTS. That's awesome, dude. I can't wait. Trash from My Plastic. Oh, we're definitely getting a new film. Like I said, it's going to create a cult classic once it streams. They knew what they were doing. This is why I paid no attention to the box office numbers. Hopefully that's the truth. There's some truth to that. I see parallels with Motu 2026 and Transformers 1. Both were better films at the box office. Suggested so far, Transformers 1 hasn't borne fruit. I hope Motu 2026 does. I hope so too. Oh my gosh. Tommy, you're too much. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Cheers on Friday night, Mega J. Cheers to you too, brother. And happy 4th of July to everybody. It is almost 4th of July in California. You got one more hour to go. But seriously, here in the East, we're already at 4th of July. So happy 4th of July to all my American friends. I hope you guys have a good one today. Oh, you received Manny Faces? It's great. Apologies for it took so long. No, I'm still talking about the Manny Faces that you gave me, but I'm looking forward to getting the real one, because the other one just literally stands there. He's immaculate. He will not be touched any longer. He will no longer be touched. Micah, I can't believe that Sony announced that they are going all digital for PlayStation on the same week that they deleted a lot of digital movies people bought from the library with no refund. That's freaking terrible. That is absolutely terrible. Big Jack, no video, not yet, but I snatched it quick. Nice, congratulations. I did do a He-Man style intro on my channel though. Sweet, can't wait to see it. James Morrison, James Morrison. Can't have the sun without the rain. Can't have the yin without the yang. The sun will rise again, my friend. Love you, Jay. You too, brother. Thank you, James. Really appreciate that, my friend. Jordan from Canada. Happy 4th of July. Happy 4th of July, everybody. So, yeah, let's talk a little bit about the digital revolution right now that's actually happening, which sucks. For those of you guys that don't know, PlayStation just announced that they will be going with digital only for their consoles going forward. And that also means that they probably will not be doing any more physical media going forward as well. Anybody who's actually bought anything from the Play Store or from the Sony Play Store or Sony PlayStation Store or the Xbox Live or anything like that, will know that oftentimes the games that you download do not last. They can be taken away at any time. They can be discontinued at any time. And unlike physical media, which you had something, a keepsake even, just a memento. Yeah, you don't get that with digital downloads. So this move is sad and shocking at the same time. I mean, it was not even a decade ago that that PlayStation was making fun of Microsoft for doing the exact same thing at E3. And it's hilarious how time changes everything. I am very, very disappointed at this move. I think that the idea of ownership is something that is, it's an important thing in our society. And I mean, look around me. I'm a freaking collector. Of course, I think that, owning property is something that should not be taken away. And the fact that Micah just mentioned it, that Sony not only took away video games, in its physical format, but the fact that any digital downloaded movies that you had on the Sony PlayStation library are literally wiped out with no refund is a travesty, an absolute terrible thing. So I think that everybody needs to vote with their dollars. Everybody needs to show PlayStation that this is not the right thing to do. And this will just lead to rampant, and I do mean rampant, contraband in the market. I think you're going to see a lot of people buy whatever means they can, downloading games and downloading movies and downloading whatever they want in any format that they can get their hands on it. So I think this is a big mistake. I think it's a big mistake by the industry. And yeah, just like what Jordan from Canada said, just like what Christopher Voss said, it's going to be ridiculous if they actually go back to NFTs for action figures. That would be the stupidest thing ever. So yeah, I am absolutely against anything that's been going on digitally. And it's crazy too, because my brother Dex at one point was saying, you can't own anything in perpetuity. I looked at him like he was from another planet. I was like, you got to be kidding me. What does ownership mean then? What does it actually mean? It means nothing. You're basically renting everything. And by renting everything, it has to be given back, right? Like leasing cars is a choice, right? If you want a new car every 4 years, that's possible, right? But if you want to own your car, if you want to, have a lease on it, if you want to drive it around until it dies, right? That should be your choice, right? I do not agree with the idea of renting a game. And what about video game preservation, right? There are games I just barely remember, and if it wasn't for people archiving these games and bringing them back using MAME and emulation, a lot of people just would not have experienced Dungeons and Dragons in the arcades. You know what I mean? A lot of people probably would never see Dragon's Lair, the way it was supposed to be. I know Dragon's Lair is available on iOS and Android now, but again, why? Why is it available? It's probably because people remember it. Probably because people wanted it, right? I think it's a travesty. I think it's absolutely abhorrent that they did something like that. Just terrible. Sculpt for Everton. Oh, Sculpt for Tommy. Oh, dang! I'm gonna have to check on Monday for Matty Basis sales. It's so don't don't trouble yourself, Tommy. When it comes, it comes. I get it. It's all good. I'm just grateful to even have been gifted anything. You guys are incredible, Christopher. In 1974, a 22-year-old Lieutenant George Washington led an ambush of French forces at Jumonville, Glen, and inadvertently sparked the global 7-year war, aka the French and Indian War. Crazy. Maybe I should, start looking at American culture, American history. I don't know. That's really beautiful. If it helps anyone, my McFarlane bat missile shipped from Amazon earlier this week. Nice. That is awesome. That was a great vehicle in Batman, man. I love Batman. The movie. Everyone for the longest time is like, it's the worst movie ever. And then the figures started coming out. All of a sudden, it's the greatest thing in the world. So cool. Just got the skeleton latest there. It was in the mailbox. Nice. Congratulations, brother. And Christopher, dating myself, but I played Genghis Khan 2, Clan of the Grey Wolf, on MS-DOS. First video game I ever bought and spent so many hours playing it. That's awesome, dude. I'm so glad. But like I said, this is what video games and ownership means. And it's an absolute shame that PlayStation is the first one to drop the gauntlet and basically say that they will no longer be doing physical media, basically killing the idea of any sort of ownership going forward. Absolutely terrible. And I really hope that Master Universe, the Dragon Pearl of Destruction, will get a physical release from Limited Run Games. I mean, that's what they do. That's their whole shtick, right? And hopefully Limited Run Games does do more physical releases. It's very important to the video game preservation, in my opinion. Anyway, guys, I want to thank all of you guys for hanging out with me tonight. I just wanted to get a few of those things off my chest. There are a lot of things, a lot of projects I'm working on, and the last couple of weeks I just have not been motivated to do any of them. So, I wanted to apologize once again for not being there, and I hope that you guys will still continue to watch the channel. I am going to be at San Diego Comic-Con this year. More content is coming. I've got a lot of plans for videos, and I have some projects that I think are going to be of great interest to everybody out there. I did want to say that I am going to be doing a bit of a campaign for my Patreon page. I'm planning on actually doing a set of videos which are exclusive to Patreon. It's only going to be for members. I wanted to I have cataloged. I really literally have cataloged my move from my old location to where I am right now, and looking back at those videos, I was shocked at A, how long it took, and B, how much stuff I actually have. And what I thought would be fun is to actually have those on as a Patreon exclusive to show you guys just what happens when you are collecting for a certain amount of years, and just how chaotic it can get once it starts to take over your life. And where I am heading with that, because I do plan on showing you guys how the new toy room is shaping up. But I did want to show you guys, at least exclusive to Patreon members, what it was like to have to move my entire collection from one location all the way to a completely different location. Let's just say that it took an entire moving van to get most of my collection out of my house. And I say most of my collection because there's actually a lot more that I had to travel and load up my car, Dex's car, and so many other cars just to get the rest of the collection out of there. And you'll see what it took to get this out of my house and into and over here, because this almost didn't make it. This one almost didn't make it, and I almost lost some key accessories. And how I found them was a miracle, and I really wanted to share that with you guys. But I don't think it's really content which will be very interesting to um, the wider YouTube audience. So I was thinking that I really should put it on my Patreon page, and basically let people see what it's like to have to live with your collection the way I have, and literally have to have transplanted from one location, which it was all comfortable in one location, then have to actually pick up that entire location and move it over to another location. A, it was daunting. B, it was ridiculous. And C, it was really, sometimes I question myself whether it was actually worth it. So yeah, I think that that'll be a fun video. I'm sorry, a fun series of videos for you guys to see just how much work it is to actually get something like that, organized and put together. So that's going to be something for my Patreon supporters. If you guys are interested in supporting me on Patreon, I do have a Patreon page, Mega J Retro on Patreon. Um, I have a couple of support tiers, and even if it's just $1, I really appreciate all the support that you guys give me. Um, yeah, it's not I'm not it's not a requirement. It's just one of those things where we can all use a little bit of help, and it does help me to go on some of these expeditions. Toy hunting is very expensive these days with gas prices the way they are. Going to conventions is doubly expensive, especially since I don't live in the United States. So being able to meet you guys, it helps. It helps with that. A lot of food expenses, a lot of things that go into being at conventions and doing this channel. So I want to give a huge shout out to all my Patreon supporters. You guys mean the world to me because you guys really help me to to be able to afford many of the things that um, make this channel possible. So thank you guys for everything that you do. And like I said, I'm going to be producing a whole bunch of videos for you guys to be watching soon. It's going to be a whole series of videos on like all the trouble I had trying to get my collection from one place to another. And some of it's humorous, some of it's kind of sad. Not gonna lie, but there are some really cool things that actually I discovered while doing that as well. So hope you guys enjoy that. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. I hope you're all doing well, staying safe. Last comments before we log off. Um, Kenzo's Creations. I opened up my Chronicles Tila tonight. She is glorious. I'm so excited. I really hope. Really hope she comes to Walmart soon. Christopher Ross says Batman Returns a Christmas film. Yes, it is. It was a Christmas film in July. Clint Jorgensen, that war determined if we would speak English or French, and its aftermath led to the Boston Tea Party. I think that's a generalization. Bossman Sean's in the house. What's going on? Here's another guy who literally was on vacation and still ended up helping us to put on Multuniverse. What a champ. Hello, Jay. I missed the talking points so far, but always good to see cool people in the wee hours. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all the help you did that weekend. Again, coming on your vacation and freaking working your ass off, dude, you are the best. John L. Guys, he's catching up. More comments. Master President Holly to a Hunter. Good stream there, sir. Until next time, good journey and good night, all. Good journey to you, Eldor. Thank you so much for being a member, and I hope to see you soon. Christopher Voss, Guzzle Creations. How was the face of the Chronicles Tila in person? Good journey. Stay out of the streets. he fit it in there. Jordan for Canada. Jay, you know this. You're one of my favorite people in the world. So kind. You're a leader in the community. So happy more people in the community got to see how wonderful you are at this this year. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you. I really appreciate that. You were the best, brother. Because his creations. Christopher, both sculpts are amazing. I'm debating whether to wait for her and Evelyn to show up locally or to buy online. Yeah, either way is fine. Jay, please tell us the story of Moving Day Accessories Miracle. Seriously. Well, you're gonna have to. The Patreon members are definitely going to be the first ones to find out about that. Well, I probably will tell it one day on a live stream somewhere, but that is something that I'm reserving for all my Patreon supporters because again, they do so much for me, and it's really quite an interesting tale to tell. It really is. German Canada. By the way, your beard is a trademark and glorious. Thank you, brother. I appreciate. I'm not sure how glorious it is, but I do appreciate that. Guys, I want to thank you so much for always supporting the channel. Um, Once again, I am sorry for not always being there for the last couple of weeks. It's been pretty rough for me. Um, yeah, things have not been as consistent as I would have wanted them to be. I had to take on a couple more jobs to really pay for these trips. Um, and as you guys know, the Canadian dollar is very, very low compared to the American dollar. So yeah, it's been a pretty rough road for both me and Danny to be able to get to convention. And like I said, doing toy hunts again, which I've been trying to do. Gas is incredibly expensive. Toys are incredibly expensive, and yeah, this hobby itself is quite costly to many of us. But I want to thank all my supporters again, particularly my Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. You guys are so supportive, and you guys are freaking the best. You guys know who you are. Snell, thank you for always being there for me, brother. I really appreciate it. Master Mr. Hunter, thank you so much for becoming a channel member. And anybody who's interested, I will be posting up those videos for my channel supporters on Patreon very, very soon. It's going to be the first video is going to be a bit of a recap based on what was actually happening at the time, and then I'll start talking about why the move happened, what happened during the move, and you guys are going to see how like what it took to get my collection from one location to another, and just how daunting it was. And of course, like I said, this big guy, and any of the play sets that I have, Snake Mountain over there, Cat's Lair, all these freaking huge, gigantic play sets, and how difficult it was to actually move them from place to place. It was crazy. But at the end of the day, they're in a new home now, and yeah, I hope to be setting up my new toy room very, very soon. So I hope you guys will enjoy that. Guys, thank you again for joining me. I did want to say in closing that calm withdrawal, just like any sort of depression, is real. It can be dangerous. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. It hit me hard. You know what I mean? I was not motivated to do anything. I have getting up every morning was difficult. It's a very scary realization about these things, and I just want everyone to know that if you are going through something, if it's something that's a part of your situation, you should reach out to your friends. You should reach out to your loved ones. You should reach out to everybody who cares about you because they can help. Um, you know, Waiting for the next event, waiting for the next the endorphin hit, it doesn't come easy. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's an addiction. It's an addiction like anything else, and unfortunately, that next hit might not come soon enough. So, yeah, if you need anyone to talk to the community, talk to some of us, reach out to some of us. Just don't be alone in that because it can be really, really tough. And I know exactly. It's been a long time. It's been a long time, but when it hit me hard. And again, I'm striving to do better. I'm striving to be there and post more episodes, get back on the horse. But like I said, it's not easy. And of course, like I said, I had to take more jobs to afford these next trips to San Diego again. Again, San Diego's not cheap, man. San Diego is a very expensive city. Even just eating there is ridiculous. You know what I mean? Just buying food every day. Oh my God, just absolutely crazy. But thank you guys. Thank you to all my Patreon supporters. You guys really always are there for me, and you guys are the best. Thank you so much for everything you guys do. Guys, I hope you're all doing well and staying safe. Literally, this will be the last few comments before we log off. Christopher Ross, good luck to Canada tomorrow against Morocco. It's going to be rough, man. Canada has been making history so far. Canada's making absolute history so far. So that is incredible. Oh, one thing I did want to mention about the World Cup. I'm so touched to see that everybody who's visiting from overseas and different parts of the world are coming to the United States and Canada and realizing just how different our cultures are. You know, like going to Costco, going to Texas barbecue and Bucky's and all these places. I myself have not even seen half of that. And anytime I go to the United States, if you see my videos when I go down there, the first thing I say whenever I enter a Walmart or a Target or something, like, they don't do anything small in the United States. They just don't. It is crazy. I went to I was in Buffalo just the other day, and I went to a Texas Roadhouse, and the girls were laughing. There were a couple of girls sitting beside us, and they were across from us, and they were just laughing at the fact that me and Danny were just like, "What the heck are with these prices? They're so cheap!" Like, we were literally freaking out about the prices of meat in the United States, and it was ridiculous. Like, like, we couldn't believe an 8 ounce steak was less than $30. Like, that blew my mind. That blew my mind. That blew Danny's mind. And again, like I said, the girls across from us, they literally had to ask us, "Where are you guys from?" And I think that they thought we were from Europe or something like that. It's like, "We're from Canada." And she's like, "Well, why are you guys freaking out? Why are you guys freaking out over the food?" And we're like, "The average steak in Canada costs $75." And their jaws dropped. Their jaws absolutely dropped. So yeah, it was fascinating. It still is fascinating. So yeah, huge shout out to anybody who's visiting North America from the other side of the pond, and just realizing how different life is here in North America, and even Canadians visiting the U.S. for the first time. Yeah, it can be incredible shock seeing all the differences that there are just in the cost of food, the cost of eating out and such. Now, again, like I said, the Canadian dollar is not that great, but it's still a lot cheaper than anything we have up here. It's crazy. Skull Farmer Tommy, you're one of my favorite people, Jay. Keep your head up, pillar in the Motu and toy community. Dude, thank you, Tommy. You have no idea what that means to me, brother. Seriously, you have no idea what that means to me. Hearing it from you, and again, just being able to meet you in person and everything. I was so humbled at that gift. You guys are just. I love all you guys at Mondo. I all I do is bitch and complain, and you guys still, I can't believe it. I just can't. And I'm really looking forward to seeing Anti-Attorney He-Man at Motu Fest. I just can't wait. I really can't. And again, I can't wait to see you guys in a couple weeks. So, Tommy, we will see you there, brother. Thank you so much for everything. John, clean but messy. I know, right? For real now this time, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure. You guys are the absolute best. Hope you're all doing well, staying safe. And as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. Dear God, Sean. It's hard to admit you're human sometimes. Give yourself some grace. The body, mind, and soul are all that's needed to rest, rejuvenate from time to time. Thank you, Sean. You are a freaking rock. You are the best. Jordan Canada, you're the man, MJR. Much love. Happy weekend, all. Yes, happy 4th of July to all my American friends out there. Happy belated Canada Day for all my Canucks out there. You guys are the best. For real this time. Good journey, everybody. And keep proud. Take care, guys.